again?
Just say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Y vamos a estar enfocados en esta área de grabar. Nuestra invitada de hoy es Amapoundcake, que va a estar dando el speak, pero la Rita va a introducir en un momento a nuestra invitada. Maybe she's not here. I'm not here. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do what we can. Mientras estamos en la conversación, tengan en cuenta de que la persona que está traduciendo está atrás y puede escuchar a nuestra presentadora, so traten de mantener la conversación al cero. Entonces está la persona hablando. Va a haber un momento para que puedan hacer preguntas. Pero otra vez les vamos a tener 3 rifas pequeñas, pero la verdad al fondo de mi corazón les agradezco que cada vez que les invitamos para que estén aquí en algo, ustedes nos apoyan. Para mí, Bambi y a todas las empleadas y empleados de la organización, damos las muchas gracias porque se están otra cosa, pero están aquí nosotras y agradezco. Vamos a hacer una donita, tomarnos un cafecito y la Rita en un momento va a empezar, ¿ok? Gracias, pero les quería dar las gracias. I was just thanking people for coming.
binarios intersexos. Y hoy tenemos un evento muy importante para ayudar a desarrollar nuestra emoción y autoestima con diferentes herramientas y estrategias. Tenemos una invitada la cual tiene mucha trayectoria en su carrera como activista, ella es influencer, ella ha hablado hasta en la Universidad de Harvard, ha tenido unos premios y unos awards from the Justice Awards y ha lanzado un producto, tiene una certificación de equipo para dar entrenamientos de apoyo para aumentar la autoestima. También ella ha hecho mucho trabajo durante la pandemia para ayudar en el ámbito médico, lo que es el acoso o el abuso del físico, por el físico, que es el cuerpo. Entre otras cosas más, le vamos a introducir, sin más preámbulo, a la creadora de Amapoundcake.
Yeah.
Con nosotros, un fuerte aplauso a Danni.
Oh. Thank you. That was beautiful. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you today. As mentioned before, my name is Danni, also known as Amapoundcake. You can call me Danni or you can call me Pound Cake. It's up to you. We're all family here. I'm from a little small town called Sanford, Florida. It's outside of Orlando if you've ever been to Disney. It's about 30 minutes away. And I'm happy just to be here with you today. I'm so honored. I got in last night. I just was so excited. This place is just so amazing. I can't wait to get my tour afterwards. I'm holding you all accountable to that. So today's workshop is going to be about self-care is political. And the reason why we wanted to do this workshop is because a lot of us have experienced not being able to care for ourselves or not being taught. Throughout this presentation, you're going to learn a lot about me. I tell a lot of my business. I don't know if my mom wants me to tell all my family business or my own business, but I do it in this presentation because we all are connected, and I believe that when we share our stories, we help heal each other. And so I'm going to ask you all today to share some of your stories. This presentation is very interactive. I hope that you all are open and available to share your stories. There's no judgment here. We're not going to go and tell all your business to shame you. This is about healing each other. And so we know that this is political, and the political is about how do we move our community forward. And I believe that we do that through a care ethic for other people and a care ethic for ourselves. And we cannot care for other people unless we care for ourselves. And so let's get started. Enjoy your snacks and get ready to talk. So as mentioned, I'm a body image coach, and I'll go through this very briefly. A body image coach is someone who helps people who are struggling with their body image, but not just struggling in the traditional sense. Someone who doesn't want to make people who don't want to make their body image the center of their lives. We help those folks live in their bodies and just be, It's already hard enough with so much social pressures to look a certain way, to walk a certain way, to have small lips or big lips or wide nose or small nose. And body image coaches teach people and give them the tools to be able to stay grounded and be able to go out and take a walk without worried about, do I look fat in this? How many times have we done that? I mean, in my case, I'm gonna look fat, but and that's okay. And that's kind of what a body image is, just to normalize being in the body that you want to be in. And I'm also a social media influencer. Amapoundcake is my brand. I have a lot of fun there. I wear a lot of cool colors. So if you're into fashion and like to have fun, come join me and follow me on social media. I would like to say I'm also a community leader. All those things have been mentioned before, working on issues on race relations, housing, police brutality, weight discrimination in healthcare. I'm very passionate about those things because I'm a directly impacted person by a lot of things that are happening in the system, and I just believe that we all have to pay our part so we can get free together. And so I've been a community organizer for over 10 years in Florida and worked on just several different projects. And I'm continuing to do that work because the people who came before us passed the torch, and we have to continue to lead the way. And like I said, fashionista, I gave my own self that little title. No one said that, but I love fashion. I love thrifting. Oh, gotta slow down. I love fashion. I love thrifting. And so I like to share my fashions. Well, moving forward, y'all here to talk about self-love and self-care. So let's get into it. What is self-care? Self-care is the practice of taking care of yourself. We hear it all the time. Everyone says, take care of yourself, and then they ask you to do something else for them. We've been taught that if we practice self-care, then we're not being productive, or we're not, if we practice self-care, we're being lazy. But actually, self-care is about giving yourself the nutrients that you need. Throughout my journey, I used to think that if I stopped and took a nap for 15 minutes, or if I stopped and didn't complete an assignment, that I was a failure, that I was worthless, that I wasn't gonna go far in life, or whatever that means. Growing up in a very small town, people in my community never get to a place where they get to have a good quality of life because we're always working or we're very poor. And so I used to think that if I stopped and took care of myself, I just would not be productive. And self-care has allowed me to pour into myself, give myself the tools that I need, and that's what self-care really is. Have you ever just put water on a plant? I don't have a green thumb, but if you put water in a plant, that's what it is. Self-care is your water to be able to grow. Self-care also tells you that I'm worthy. When you give yourself what you need, it says, I'm worthy. I deserve to be here. I'm important to me. And I try to do self-care every single day. I know people say, do self-care once a week, I try to do something for myself every single day. And I'll give you some tips at the end, but even if it means that I am not answering my phone after 9 o'clock because I need time to myself, I do that because I need the fuel to be able to do the things that I want to do for my family, for my community. And self-care is also a process. And this is the last tip I want to say, because on the internet, you see every single where people are always saying, do self-care, do self-care. It takes a long time to get into a habit of doing self-care. I went on this entire journey where I was, working all the time, doing a lot of community work, tending to my family, and then I got in therapy, and I thought I was gonna be fixed, and I thought 2 visits, I was gonna be done, and everything was gonna be perfect. But actually, that's not how it worked. I had to unlearn some things that I had been taught, and we'll talk about unlearning later, but I had to unlearn some of the things I had taught and get in a practice of doing self-care. Self-care is a journey. The things that you needed yesterday, you might not need them today. And that's what self-care is all about. Next slide. All right, so I'm gotta get in your business, okay? Oh, no, I won't. Okay. Okay, all right, cool. I like listening to you, by the way. So, okay. So, what have you done in the past 7 days? What self-care things have you done in the past 7 days? Just asking the room. Put it back on? All right.
This lady.
Yeah.
I've been have to take that and
Yeah.
but I'm not forward and look out for my life. I'm kind of trying what I was ready, but I'm not. That's what
Mm-hmm.
people care. They're not gonna come. They're not. I am Miss Lorraine. I built this in my age. That is
Me too.
I have 7 more than 50. Giving up. Protest. Activism.
Thank you for sharing. Y'all give it up for Miss Loretta Levain. Anybody else would like to share? Yes. Thank you.
He estado solo y he pasado una experiencia bien fea porque viví con una persona narcisista. No sé si tienen el conocimiento de a qué se refiere a una persona narcisista. Me dicen, bueno, yo me vine para acá primeramente por mi salud mental, ¿verdad? Porque sabía que acá iba a conseguir otras oportunidades y estoy agradecido mucho por las dos personas que me han ayudado, ellos dos. Y sé que, o sea, esto es de salir adelante juntos, no separados, porque estoy escuchando el ejemplo de ella, que juntos somos, hay poder. Individuales nos va a ir mal, pero siempre la vida de eso se trata, de unirnos y salir adelante. Eso es lo que yo he hecho en estos días atrás, prácticamente 10 días que viajé de Chicago acá a Los Ángeles. Y es muy distinto la vida allá con la de acá, pero uno se adapta según las necesidades que uno lleva, ¿verdad? Entonces, pues estoy contento por este taller que no me lo esperaba y espero aprender un poco más. Y felicidades, esté fantástica.
Thank you. I'm always fascinated by people who move. I've only lived in Florida my whole entire life, so thank you. And it's beautiful to move and find community. That's pretty awesome. And you both have talked about how strong your community is here, and I think that, again, what I mentioned, how do we stay connected, is we take care of ourselves so we can take care of each other. So thank you for sharing. Anybody else? You want to go? Tell me your name. Was he? You were raising your hand? No?
No.
No, oh, sorry. I thought you were raising your hand. I apologize.
So, no, pero I'm happy, but I had in long time pero por TransLatina por siempre ayudarnos y apoyarnos y soportarnos. Sí. Gracias.
Thank you. Sounds like the staff here are just super awesome. That's amazing. Yeah. This is amazing. So, the reason why I asked you all about care and what do you think about care is because I wanted to ground us in understanding, well, I wanted to gauge the room and see what do people think about care. Are people struggling with doing something for themselves, self-care? Are you an expert at self-care? Because we're going to be sharing our stories throughout this whole entire presentation. So how about we do this? Raise your hand if you do something at least once a week for yourself. Okay. Raise your hand if you want to get to a place where you do something once a week for yourself. It's okay. No shame here. We're sending love all the way to the back. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, yes. Oh, you raise your hand once a week. Okay. Listen. Oh, once a month. Okay. Totally understand. Okay, this is good. Okay, I understand where the room is now, and then I want us to focus on also paying attention to the people who raise their hands, because it seems like some folks have figured out how to fill their cups already. And so we talk about, we keep bringing up community, and so now we know who our folks are in the room who need more care, and so keep that in mind. Most of what we learned about self-care has come from the dominant culture. This is really important for us to talk about the history of white supremacy. I have to be clear. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that here, but I'll slow down. I apologize. Okay. But it's really important that we bring it up, because the people who have been able to get rest in our country are usually the people who have not had to do a lot of labor, the people who are able to get jobs. And we'll talk about the social determinants of health in a minute, which is directly tied to self-care. It's usually the people who are able to access jobs. It's usually the people who are able to get adequate housing. It's usually people who have access to healthcare are the people who are able to get quality rest. And so when we teach self-care, people who are connected to our cohort, we have to talk about the history of care in this country. We have to talk about the history of care in this country, because we keep talking about self-care online, self-care. Who has access to therapy, you know, is really important. Who has access to take their children to the daycare is also another determination of whether people are able to get care. For moms who work 9 to 5 and then, you know, or work 9 to 5 and come home and have to take care of their children and have nowhere else for their children to go. They're the only caregivers for their children. Self-care is not afforded to them in the same way that people who have access to community, a healthy community where people can help babysit or they can actually take a break. I go around and I talk to a lot of different communities, and that seems to come up a lot. Like, do I have a chance to get a break in my life? And so the next thing that we're going to talk about here is, this is skip the slide, but self-care is, like I said, not accessible to everyone all the time. We can kind of talk about budget. We could talk about abilities, right? Like all different kinds of sorry, all of these different types of social impacts determine who has access to care. So here's the social determinants of care chart. Some of the things that are on the list, and I guess I can read them. Okay. One of those things is economic stability. And in this chart, it talks about employment, income, expenses, debt, medical bills, support. There's another column that is neighborhood and physical environment, housing, transportation, safety, parks, playgrounds, walkability, zip code geography. In the education tab, it talks about literacy and language, early childhood education, vocational training, higher education. There's another slide that talks about food, hunger, access to healthy options. Another slide is community and social context, social integration, system support, community engagement, discrimination, stress. And the other tab says healthcare system, healthcare coverage, provider availability, provider linguistic and cultural competency, and quality of care. So all of these things determine someone's ability to have access to care, to actual adequate health care. So looking at this, and what sticks out to you in your life that has stopped you from being able to care for yourself? And I'm going to ask another question. What is missing from this chart?
And all that. I didn't have no education. I didn't have too much things going on in life. Now, all of a sudden, now that I'm older, I'm learning all this new. I'm even going through help right now to get my SSI and all that, because back in the days I was making fast money, if you know what I'm talking about. But I was into that lifestyle. Money was so quick and good, and I thought it was never going to end, but it always comes to an ending of everything when you get older. And now I'm learning that I got to get it motivated, and plus I'm getting all this help now. And thanks to TransLatin, they have led me to the right sources, because I didn't know about all this. I was just I was into the fast money, dealing and willing and whatever. But that's all I knew in life back in the days, because education and discrimination and also racist and the way I was, it was a taboo.
Yeah.
Now it's not taboo no more. Now we can get, and I was always ashamed. I had a pride because money was coming my way, but it all comes to an end. I'm learning that now that I'm older, that it doesn't exist, and times have changed. And now that I need I'm getting the help, I'm realizing what's there for me, the sources. And I have to thank TransLatin for leading me to the right places, and they have.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Has anyone else been impacted by some of these determinants of health? Or does anyone else have input on if there's anything that's missing? I'm going to call in the staff back here. Is there any staff person in the back that has something to say?
A lot of these things maybe we can talk about, like resiliency and fortitude.
So, for example, can you give me an example of like individual experience?
Yeah, so like Ms. Lorraine shared, her individual experience has allowed her to kind of involve herself in this community. When we don't have that, then we lack that. And so that is part of the social
That is true. Thank you. Anybody else? I love that y'all clap here. This is just awesome. Yes. Oh, okay. Wait. Sorry.
Buenas tardes.
I'm messing this up. I apologize, everybody. Okay. I'm here.
Antes que nada, buenas tardes a todas chicas y se me hizo un poquito tarde. Ahorita lo que estaba comentando ella es algo muy importante para todas nosotras y cada una. Para mí, mi propia experiencia, mi propia vida me ha costado tener salud médica. Yo era una persona, comparto con todos ustedes, que tenía mi carácter muy fuerte, muy explosiva. No tenía ayuda porque no sabía.
You slow down. Slow down.
Un poquito más con calma.
Okay.
Porque están interpretando en
Okay.
inglés.
Y pues antes que nada, yo pienso que a cada una de nosotras nos cuesta llegar al punto que tú nos estás compartiendo. Y en realidad buscar ayuda no todos te la dan. En los trabajos somos discriminadas. Nos orillan a la prostitución, hay muchas chicas que andan afuera en drogas. Nosotras podemos juzgar, pero también a base de mi experiencia, yo les he platicado mi historia a las chicas. ¿Dónde está la ayuda? ¿Dónde está la información? Yo fui una persona homeless. Me costó levantarme. Lo logré. No vivo del pasado, vivo del presente. Porque todo lo que estaba mal en mi cuerpo, lo podrido, lo deseché. A ninguna chica la envidio, ni le deseo nada mal. A todas las respeto, las quiero y las amo. Porque nosotras debemos de ser cada una un ejemplo para una misma. Tu propio espejo es tu reflejo de tu persona. Y en realidad, para buscar toda esta ayuda, a mí me costó, y sí la tengo. Le doy gracias a Dios. Pero créeme que sí cuesta. Sí cuesta. Porque a veces no tenemos trabajo, no tenemos doctor, no tenemos hormonas. Porque vivimos en un mundo que a veces no tenemos la información adecuada. Pero es para eso estamos aquí en estos grupos y le doy gracias a TransLatin Coalition que me hace partícipe de este grupo de información y educarme más. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you. I have a question. What are some of the, why isn't some of the information accessible?
Porque muchas veces nosotras, cuando estamos afuera, no damos la información correcta, dónde deben ir con un doctor, dónde deben ir a ayuda de migración, dónde deben ir donde hay bancos de comida. Entre nosotras mismas a veces no es la ayuda, y eso es lo que queremos. Tenemos que ser todas tenemos que ser una, ayudarnos. ¿Ok?
Well, I'm sharing one letter here.
Let's give it up to.
I love that. Thank you. What I keep hearing come up in the room a lot is that like folks have really been able to come here to this place and find community. And I'm interested in knowing, like, are you all also talking to other people outside of this space and saying, this is your home, you can also be a part of community here?
I try to post it up for them and everything, but that's what I do. Because I tell you, you're missing mental health up there, because there's a lot of people that are getting dementia, and also not old people, young people too, and also old timers. I have a friend right now that had to leave the facility because they were discriminated. My friend, that's been my friend for almost 40-some years, she's going through dementia and why was she, and I tell her, well, why did the people will promise you? And mental health is something that we need. because there's so many children out there. I know some of them did it to themselves, some of them haven't. It's no age to die on the streets. I had a child tell me the other day, "Oh, you're in a facility at the Hope House, and you're 81." I said, "I didn't know there's a certain age not to be homeless or have situation." Who in the hell are you talking to? You know what I mean? Where I'm coming from, see, I'm from Florida too.
Yeah.
I lived in Miami, raised in Miami.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you know, and people, and I'm Puerto Rican, and people sometimes, you know, they just get out of line. You try to help people in our own community, honey, they don't do it. They talk the talk, but they don't do the walk. I keep it real. You know what I mean? We all should come together, and no matter what color, what race, we're all cut with the same system. You got it, sister? We all come from, you know, I believe in the grace of God and try to help everyone. And this community, TransLatin, I have lead them to people because they help me. If they help me, I'm gonna help them. And that's how I look at it. You know?
Thank you. It's so interesting. Like, you're talking in my ear. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. Thank you for sharing. So anyways, just to close out this piece, the purpose of talking about the social determinants of health is because in this practice, we like to talk about how self-care can also be a privilege, like I mentioned before. You mentioned that some people don't have the access. You mentioned that even when people do get the information, that they don't receive it. And you mentioned lived experiences also determines your experience with care and health. I think all of those things are very true, depending on who you're talking to, who the person is. Someone could look like they, are someone who had it all and really had nothing, right? And there can be somebody who it looks like they had nothing and they really grew up and had it all. But again, just to ground us, oftentimes the people who do not have a care ethic are lacking or experience lacks in these areas as children. And some of them continue to experience that as adults. As adults. And so as you think about going out and connecting with other people, just remember that people come with stories. I know you all know that. But people come with stories and experiences and have been shaped by the things that have impacted them socially, politically, and economically. I live in Florida. I know y'all see a lot that's going on with Ron DeSantis, and so we will have lots of children who will not have quality education, and we'll have, there's laws right now that determine whether or not people will have even things like sex education or reproductive health, and all of those things all things determine whether or not you have care for yourself, whether you can go access. You can go do family planning, all of those kind of things. So learning self-care takes unlearning. So I'll share my own story. Remember I said I didn't take care and all these kind of things. There was a point of time in my life that I did not believe in mental health treatment at all. I grew up in the church. And you talked about being from the South, and I grew up in church, and it was just all the time I was told, you don't need to go see a therapist. All you need is Jesus. I used to have to go to the front of the church and say, if something was wrong with me, I used to have to say and bow and honor God. And I love God. I'm very much so Christian. But I was taught to not care anything about my mental health until I had that breakdown. And everybody was like, around me and my family, they was like, oh, you just need to give more time to Jesus. And I tried that, and I really didn't get anywhere that I needed to get. I needed the people what I believe that God had put into place to be able to help take care of me, which was a therapist. True, that's true. So I got myself involved in therapy, and I've almost been in therapy for 2 years now. But what I had learned in my journey in therapy is that I needed to spend less time on the phone. I was spending when I needed to feel connected to myself, or I needed to make a hard decision, I would pick up the phone and just try to not address something that was really boiling inside of me, or making a decision that I needed to make. I would go party. I would go party instead of addressing things that were really bothering me. And so I had to unlearn a lot of things that I had learned before. I had to create a care ethic for myself. I realized on that journey of that care ethic, I used to think getting my nails done was self-care. Actually, it's just a part of making sure my image looked good, I guess, at this point. Because actually, I realized it wasn't self-care for me. Self-care for me was reading a book. Self-care for me was taking a nap. Self-care for me was saying no. Like I said, I'm born and raised in a small town outside of Orlando. And so it's the big part of the culture in the town is to do every family activity. I mean, you will be shamed if you don't make it to everyone's birthday party, or everyone's event, or everyone's church service. This person is having a family and friends day. This one is having a choir convention. This one is having a birthday party. And what I had to learn is I need time for myself. I already worked Monday through Friday. I'm tired on the weekend, and I pick and choose which activities I wanted to do. And so throughout my journey of getting involved in my own mental health services, and creating a care ethic for myself, I learned to say no. Anytime someone asked me for money, I would give it to them. I would give, anybody asked me for money, I would give it away. And then even to the point where I was like, ooh, next week my lights are getting cut off, because I done gave someone my money because I felt bad. This person didn't have and that person didn't have. And when you give what you actually don't have, you end up with nothing and burnt out. And we're going to talk about that later, but I'm sharing the things that I really had to unlearn. And there's some things, y'all, even right now, I still need to unlearn, I'll be completely honest. Sometimes I'm afraid to hurt people's feelings. So I won't be completely honest with not clients, but family. I'll kind of be afraid to tell my feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. And so that's something I'm learning. And I'll go with emotion. And really, my mind, I'm saying yes to some things, and I really want to say no. And so, remember, I told you earlier that self-care is a process. You're not gonna be perfect all the time. Sometimes you're gonna get to a point where you have it down packed, and then you're gonna, you're gonna take some steps back, and you're gonna take some steps forward. It's gonna be a process. You're not always going to be 100% perfect in your self-care. And that's what this whole journey of life is all about. Yes, you're doing a break right now, because then you come back, you play a game. Okay. So right now we are going to take a 10-minute break. You could go to the bathroom. If you want to chat with me, you can chat with me, take a snack, and then in 10 minutes, which will be at 2, what is it? I can't count. Oh, 3:20.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. 3:10. Okay, I'm sorry. 3:10. Yes, come back at 3:10.
poquito. Les pido que por favor cuidado con los zapatos. Para interpretación.
Interpretación.
Para que no se caigan, por favor. Esta actividad es de movimiento.
Was that the announcement about the moving? Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you. All right, everybody. So, like I said, I love to do interactive activities, and we're gonna do a quick little game. I just want to make sure that we honor the request about the headphones. Also, because we're gonna be using water, and so I don't want it to get wet either. And so also, if you can stand, before folks get up, I just want to explain it so that they can continue to film. If we could make a circle just around this area, let's make a circle. So come on, everybody come, let's make a circle. I guess we should have done this on break time. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think that's good, right?
Yeah, that's good. It doesn't have to be a big circle, just a circle. Just a circle. And make sure you bring your cup. And for people, yes. Okay. That's totally fine. Can we move the chair? Can we move the chair? Okay, so I have a cup of water. It's very full enough so I don't be clumsy me and spill it over, okay? So this is a cup of water, and I am going to give a few people some water. And when I give the water, I am going to say go, and everyone is gonna pour the water into the next person's cup. You can pour as much as you want to, as little as you want to, whatever, and continue to pour in the cup. Let's try our best not to make spills, okay? Because I don't want to be the person mopping today. So I'm gonna start off by first. Is everyone clear on the activity? Yes, only to the person next to them. Yes, we're going this way.
So you're gonna put, and then you're gonna put.
Yes, but I'm gonna tell you when to go. I'm gonna give a few people some water. Okay, sorry. And I'll tell you all when to start. But I'm just give a few people some water right now.
Empiecen todavía. Para que ya le ponga agua para el todavía no compartan.
Okay, just a little drop. All right. On your marks, don't rush. I'm just kidding. Okay, when I say go, pour water into the next cup. Go.
Échale agua al siguiente vaso al lado tuyo. Échale agua lo que tú quieras, no toda, es como tú quieras. Échale agua. Si tú le quieres echar al de al lado, échale un chin a tu ladito. Aquí allá, un poquito para allá, compártela para aquí, compártela para allá, tira para allá, le echas más, le echas menos.
Let me see. Okay. If you want to continue to pour, you can continue to pour. Let me see. Are y'all still pouring? Did y'all stop pouring? Are you still pouring?
No.
No. Let's see. You got some water. Let me see. Did you get some? You want to keep your water? Okay. 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 It looks like we pour. Now raise your hand if you. Okay, oh, we still have some pourers. We still have some pourers. Sorry. Okay, raise your hand if you were one of the original people to have water, the first group to have water before we started the game.
Levanta la mano si al principio del juego te dieron agua.
Okay, and I was one of those people too.
Ella, si te echó ella. No, si ella te echó en el vaso en el principio.
Okay, who were those people? Someone over here I gave water to.
Levanta la mano, usted la primera.
It was you. Okay, I couldn't remember. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, do you all have water now? Let me see. Do you have water? Then raise your hand if I originally gave you water. You have water? Were you the original people?
I do now.
You have water? Do you have water?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You have water? Okay. Do you have as much as I gave you originally?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Who has water in their cup now? Who has water in their cup now who did not get water in the beginning? Who got water poured into their cups?
Después levanta la mano.
And you have water right now.
¿Y tienes agua ahí dentro?
Let me see.
Levanta el vaso si tienes agua.
I have to talk about these two people in a minute, because they definitely took on did this. So let me see. Okay. I checked it. You have water? Nothing. Did anybody give you water?
Ya, yo te di agua.
And you poured it all in there? Did you pour it?
Yeah.
And let me see yours. Did you pour yours?
No.
And you got that just from me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, y'all. So I have to talk about these two people over here first before first of all, before I give my ideas. What do y'all think this is about?
Or confidence.
Yeah. That's a big piece of it. What else do you think? What else is it about? Thank you for sharing. What else do y'all think it's about? Yes.
Yo pienso y creo que la cantidad de agua que recibí no fue bastante para poderla compartir con todas. Y yo debo de pensar en mí. Yo tengo que tener fuerza, tengo que tener vida y tengo que ayudar a las demás, pero primero debo de mirarme yo. Primero estoy yo, enseguida yo y después yo. Y si ya tengo algo para compartir, no es que me sobre, lo tengo que dar de corazón, pero si no me nace de corazón, no se lo voy a dar a ella, porque es poco lo que tengo.
Did you give some?
No.
Tacaña.
Why not?
Espérate, escuchen, vamos a escuchar.
Sí. ¿Por qué me dijo, verdad? ¿Por qué? Porque la cantidad que tengo no me alcanza para compartir con alguien. Siento que es para mí y debo de pensar primero en mí, después en mí y enseguida en mí. Yo soy la importante, la verdad. Porque creo y pienso de que debo de seguir adelante y si no tengo, ¿cómo le voy a compartir si ya no tengo?
Can I say something?
One moment. I promise to let you go. Who agrees with that? Who? Nobody. Okay. No one agrees with it. Can you I'm gonna let you share, but I want to get someone different, and I'm gonna let you go. Okay. Tell me why you don't agree.
Because porque sé de que si yo doy algo un poquito o mucho, yo voy a recibir más de Dios.
Good.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. What about you?
Cuando comparten contigo, tú tienes que aprender a compartir y quedarte sin nada. Lo que tú generas es lo que se te devuelve en la vida.
Let me ask you both a question. What if you have nothing to give?
¿Qué tal si no tienes nada para dar?
Yo sé que cuando he pedido a otras personas porque sé que aquella persona tiene necesidad y le doy.
Y no solo la material se da, puedes ayudar desde tu sentimiento, tu manera de actuar. No todo depende materialmente en la vida.
Okay, I'm gonna go, but
Out of a little piece of bread, Jesus gave 12 disciples to eat a little piece of bread, and they were. If Jesus can do it like that, also we can do it.
what about you?
Creo que es bien importante la empatía. La empatía es una cosa tan preciosa que la podemos compartir todos juntos, todas juntas, y allá afuera también lo podemos hacer. Materialmente, cuando se puede, hay que ayudar, pero cuando no se puede, a veces con una palabra de aliento que uno le ayuda a otra persona a decirle todo va a estar bien. Porque, bueno, yo creo mucho en Dios,
Amén.
porque yo sé que Él me ha ayudado mucho en mi proceso y todo, y ahí voy poco a poco. Entonces, siento eso en mi corazón de poder compartir cuando a mí se me ha ayudado, digamos, emocionalmente, económicamente, poder ayudar a otras personas, no solamente económicamente o material, ¿verdad? Pero sí con una palabra de aliento que uno le diga a otra persona, uno ya se siente súper bien.
¿Sí es cierto?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm going to go and do something really quickly because these people right here, what's your name? Alejandra.
Natalie.
Natalie. Alejandra and Natalie, I asked twice. I came over here twice and said, are you guys going to give your water? And they both said no. So I want you all to tell us why you didn't give your water.
Ok, yo le di la mitad exacta de lo que a mí me dieron. Y ya no quería compartir.
Why not?
Porque no quería que se me acabara el agua.
I'm going to keep asking why.
Pues yo no entendí el juego, yo pensaba que teníamos que quedarnos con la mayoría de agua.
I love that. Thank you for the honesty. You didn't want to run out of water, right?
Sí.
Okay. I'm going to get you and then back. Natalie, sorry.
Pues yo no di porque como obviamente ella me dio a mí, pero no sabía que tenía que compartir, o sea, no había entendido la postura del juego. Pero me pasó algo y si hubiera entendido bien algo, yo se lo hubiera dado a ella y un poquito para cada uno, porque me pasó en México, tenía $20 y es una experiencia. Había una persona que no tenía, la mamá estaba enferma en una silla de ruedas y la persona estaba ayudándonos con una papelería, pero no tenía un sueldo y podíamos darle una ofrenda o algo así para que se ayudara. Yo creo mucho en Dios porque me ha ayudado muchísimo y es lo único que... Mi familia me dio la espalda, pero más él no. Entonces, yo tenía nada más $20 y me puse a orar y pues Dios me tocó el corazón que se los tenía que dar a ella. Y era lo único que yo tenía. Y yo le decía, Dios mío, ¿pero por qué le voy a dar $20 y que voy a comer mañana? Entonces, él me puso, si tú los das, yo me voy a glorificar en lo que yo le estaba pidiendo. Y llegué, con mucha fe y le dije, señora, yo sé que es lo único que tengo, no tengo nada más. Se los voy a dar y que Dios la bendiga y que Dios la va a sanar. Se los di y obtuve mi entrada a Estados Unidos y hasta el día de hoy he recibido más de lo que di. O sea, cuando das, no importa que si no tienes, que si tienes que dar lo que si te das de corazón, pues vas a... No por lo que estés dando, sino que Dios te va a bendecir, aunque no tengas, Él te va a dar el doble de lo que diste.
I believe that too.
Sí.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you share?
Sí. Yo casi la compartí toda, me quedé con un poquito nada más. Como dijeron, en la unión...
Un momento. That means 1 moment, right? I want to say really quickly that she had the most water. Because this context is really important. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, me quedé con un poquito. Como dijeron, en la unión está la fuerza. Lo que siembres, eso vas a cosechar. Okay? Entonces, si todas somos unidas, como repito, yo me quedé con un poquito, casi la compartí toda. Siempre he dicho, en la unión está la fuerza entre todos.
I have a question. You had the most water, and you kept some for yourself. Why didn't you give it all?
I understood. What do you
Ponte el aparatito para que te lo digan.
Ella dice que porque no la diste toda y te quedaste con agua.
Porque me gusta compartir.
Pero ¿por qué no la diste toda?
Porque me quedé con un poquitito.
¿Por qué te quedaste con ella?
Me quedé con ella porque también yo necesito, o sea, un poco. ¿Sí? Como todos necesitamos, también necesito yo un poco. Okay.
Does anyone disagree with that?
I gave it all to her and she gave it back to me.
Do people, does anyone in the room believe that it's selfish to keep a little bit for yourself?
No.
Struggling here. No?
Charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home. Can you tell me more?
Well,
Thank you.
you have to have something for yourself, as share the plus, and you are more rich giving than giving.
I love that.
Who has water still left in their cup?
No worries.
Again? Okay, so the people who kept the water in their cup, why did you all keep your water?
I didn't keep mine. I gave it all to her and she gave it back to me. She gave me some of hers. She gave it back. She
You-
shared some back.
You
I gave it to her, all of it. And then she said, Loretta, here, keep some for you.
you broke the rules of the game, but I like it.
But I didn't know.
That's okay. That's okay. I love that though, because that shows another example of giving some. Yes, exactly what you said. So you giving someone something, they give it back to you. For the other people who kept their water and didn't give it all, I want to know why.
Yo no di el agua porque creo y pienso que vino alguien y me obsequió algo cuando yo no tenía nada y cuando yo estaba tirada en la calle. Entonces cuando yo lo agarré y lo recibí, era muy poco, apenas me alcanzaba para mí. Pero si yo pudiera darle de lo que yo tenía, ok, se lo compartía. Pero no se lo di porque yo tenía que tener fuerzas para poder caminar y sobrevivir y conseguirle algo a la otra persona. Espérame, no te vayas, la fuerza la tengo yo, voy a ir a conseguir algo para ti. Por eso no lo di, porque creo que debemos de poner también un ejemplo a luchar por lo que queremos y a luchar por los demás también. Porque si yo no le di nada, ok, no te puedo dar nada, pero ahorita espérame, voy a conseguir algo para ti porque sé que estaba en la misma situación que yo o estaba más peor. Pero si era muy poquito, no era nada, ok, eso me dio la fuerza para yo pararme, levantarme y caminar y ir a pedir para mi compañera o mi compañero, mi vecino, mi no sé.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
I want everyone to give themselves a round of applause for participating in this. Can we go back to our seats now and we're going to discuss this a little bit further?
Sí, pero es que no le entendí.
Me dejó seca. Mami me dejó en sequía. Dijo, no, agua para ti. Alma buena.
Even closer? Oh. Okay.
Maybe at the end we want to do a group picture or something,
Okay.
so you could like.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can we get one mic? One mic. Oh, sorry. Oh no, I meant, sorry. I meant, can we come back together? I apologize. So this was really good. Actually, a lot of cool things came out of this. For the people who don't have water in their cup, for the people who don't have water in their cup, what I believe is you have nothing to give. This oftentimes happens. People feel burnt out. It's not just about monetary, it's also about energy. If you give, this water can also symbolize your time. A lot of us who do a lot of things help a lot of people because we care, because we want to see our people be well and thrive. Oftentimes we're trying to give from nothing. And we're burnt out. And no one's, well, not no one, but sometimes we're not getting poured into in the times that we need. And so I'm going to stand on the fact that self-care is not selfish. And that does not mean that you cannot give. That does not mean that you can't share. I love the example of bread. It does not mean that if you have a piece of bread, you cannot break it and give to someone. But if I'm hungry and you're hungry, where do we get food? If we're dependent on each other in community. And so this example was not for us to take home a practice of not sharing. This activity was for us to to understand that it's okay to leave something for yourself. You are worthy of having things. You are worthy of having care. You are worthy of having love. You are worthy of quality time. You are worthy of rest. And when we create a practice of giving from absolutely nothing, from burnout, I like to use this example because this has happened a lot of times. I'm not a great cook. I oftentimes burn my eggs when I'm boiling them. I just don't know. I forget about the pot all the time. But at first it starts off with a lot of water in the pot. I put a little salt in it because my intent is to peel it. I don't know if y'all do that little salt thing in the pot of boiling water with eggs. And I get so busy and I forget that I had eggs in there. And by the time I come back, all the water is evaporated and the eggs are now what they're supposed to be, looking like good, luscious Easter eggs to peel. They're brown and they're burnt and they're dried out and they're no longer edible. And so I like to use the pot is all dried out. The pot needs water, and so it's important to not treat ourselves like I treat my eggs in a pot, making all the water evaporating and leaving nothing for myself. And so before we get into, the negative beliefs about self-care, I want to ask folks, does anybody else have anything to contribute before we close out the game? Yes. Yes, of course, don't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm also always my other friends because when that happened to me, I had more friends helping me. Because of a selfish person I try to help, and it turned out to be a bad apple. The rest of them are not. I'm not taking out on. That's what's wrong with these people. They because of one bad experience, they take it out on the other person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do that because everybody is not the same. Just be wise to choose the right one.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned.
I love that. This is also another great example of self-care. Removing people who continue to practice harm in your life is self-care. Thank you for sharing. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Yo no le todo el agua porque yo sabía que pues era un juego. Entonces yo sé que pues es un juego y tengo que ir dando de a poquito porque pues a él yo le di de a poquito y se me quedaba viendo. Pero como sé que pues es un juego y yo no me tenía que quedar sin agua.
You need a secret.
Ya, yo dije, es play, ok, juego, de a little, ya.
If it wasn't a game, would you have given it all?
Oh, no. Que si no fuera pues un juego, yo sí lo hubiera dado todo. Sí.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Love that. Yes.
Okay, yo pienso que el juego es parte de como una psicología inversa, ¿verdad? Que por medio de esa psicología se puede conocer el tipo de persona que uno es, ¿verdad? Se puede ser, ¿cómo le puedo decir?
Oh, sorry. Can we make sure everyone's quiet so I can't hear you clearly too?
Por favor.
Sorry.
Mantener silencio, por favor.
Go ahead. Apologize.
Sí, como le digo, puede ser que sea una forma como psicología, ¿verdad? Para podernos conocer unos a los otros, cómo podemos ayudar allá afuera y cómo nos podemos ayudar nosotros acá adentro. Y lo importante del juego, la enseñanza que yo siento que me ha dejado es siempre el compartir, aunque yo me quede con un poquito de agua, pero comparto con uno, con otro, pero siempre cuidando eso, ¿verdad? De no quedarme, digamos, vacío, pero saber compartir con los demás. Pienso que eso es la enseñanza que me ha dejado, ¿verdad? Aprender a compartir con los demás.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, go ahead.
Si el juego, para mí en este momento me di cuenta del ser humano que soy, me hizo aprender la realidad, pero hay una de las cosas muy importantes. Todas las chicas, todas nosotras, hemos pasado muchas cosas, muchas situaciones de acoso, de violencia, discriminadas. Entonces, en el momento que tú das ese paso y que tienes algo, como todo lo que has vivido, a veces es difícil. Pero en ese momento, como ahorita, te das cuenta y dices, ok, necesito ayuda, necesito ir con un terapista, necesito que me quite eso. ¿Por qué no puedo compartir o por qué no le quiero dar a aquella persona? ¿Qué es lo que tengo mal en mí? ¿Qué es lo que debo resolver? ¿Qué es lo que debo cambiar para mi comunidad, pero principalmente para mí? ¿Por qué no estoy compartiendo? ¿Por qué no lo estoy compartiendo? ¿Por qué no quieres compartirlo?
I have a different question. Do you believe that you deserve things?
Sí, sí las merezco porque me he esforzado, he luchado y creo y pienso que todas tenemos el derecho de ser felices, porque en este mundo venimos a ser felices, como dijo Dios, dijo Jesús. Él dio la vida por nosotras y por todo el mundo. Entonces nosotros tenemos que ser felices a como dé lugar. Por eso cada una de nosotras luchamos día con día a nuestras necesidades. Tenemos que pagar renta, tenemos que pagar muchos biles. Incluso tenemos que invertir en nuestra persona. Y la inversión cuesta también.
Thank you.
I believe in what was more important is life and also health, and to be healthy. Because when you are counting your days of living like I do, to my days, my birthday's every day when I wake up my eyes. And I treasures that with God. And it's also good to have things, but materialistic things are not gonna keep you alive. You understand? And life is more precious, and to be healthy and have wonderful friends always.
I love
That's all
that.
matters.
Yes. They were raving about you earlier.
Yo siento que primeramente tenemos que aprender a perdonarnos todos, nosotros mismos y a los demás. Este es un proceso que nos ha dañado a todos de una manera cada quien distinta. Pero si no aprendemos a perdonar a quien nos dañó, no nos vamos a perdonar nosotros, no vamos a hacer algo para mejorar adelante la comunidad. Nunca. No vamos a salir de esto si no aprendemos a perdonar nosotros mismos.
Thank you. Yes.
Yo sé dividir todo, porque yo sé que estoy en un grupo donde me invitaron. Pero chicas, recordemos, yo respeto a todo el mundo, su forma de creer y de pensar y de sentir, pero para mí hablar de que me violaron, que me quisieron matar, que me pegaron, ese es un pasado. Yo quiero estar bien y aquí me la paso bien porque veo a todo el mundo. Pero si sigo pensando que soy una persona vieja, enferma y que fui violada y maltratada, nunca voy a curarme por dentro. Si uno quiere estar bien espiritualmente, mentalmente y de su corazón, el pasado es un pasado. Porque el mundo no se termina. Quien se termina es uno por seguir haciéndose daño internamente. Recordar todo aquello no es bueno. No es fácil, pero no es difícil.
I love that. It's a great care ethic to have. And I keep bringing this up, this ideal of community, because it keeps coming up in this group. And what I want to say is that I think what's also, because I've done these activities a lot of times, and I'll tell you that there hasn't been a group. This is the first time where folks have said, I want to share everything. Share. Almost that has been like a unified response to everything that's to this game. Sorry. And I think it's because you all have community and that folks are sharing with you. And so you feel like I can share because I know someone else is going to give me something. And I'm not taking people to a place to just remember, but I do want to say, I don't want to ask a question, but I do want us to remember the times that we did not have community. And our folks who are not in this room are there where we used to be, where we did not have community, where people were not sharing with us. And they're still giving when they don't have. And no one's giving back to them. And so the point of the exercise is for us to understand that, again, if you do not have anything, and especially if you're not in a community that has a love ethic, that has a care ethic, you cannot practice self-care in that way. And it goes back to the things where I was talking about. Self-care is a privilege. It is a privilege to be in community with people who love you, because not everyone has that. And as you continue to connect and build in this room, outside of this room, in this community and other communities, I just want us to hold that in our hearts, because you mentioned something where you remove yourself from people. That came from practice. You know, I think one of the beautiful things about getting older, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, but getting older is you're able, as you grow and develop, you're able to say, I don't like this, I like this. This doesn't make me feel good. This does make me feel good. If you're doing the work, going through the process. And so, again, like I said, you know, because self-care is, I say that self-care is political, because the way that we care for ourselves creates a practice for us to care for other people so we can have a thriving community.
I'm getting. If it was up to me, I would take a bat and beat the shit out of her. Because of her, she brought me back. She laid a stable me to leave that alone and move on. If it wasn't for her to tell me to move on, don't be that old Loretta from many years ago. But I used to carry a gun right here. I used to do all kinds of stuff. But I don't anymore. And I've known that lady for years. And I've always been good to my girls. I just didn't have problems with men at the back of the days because I chose the wrong men. But that's life. I don't live on that no more. But if it wasn't for this lady right here, talk to me, bring me back in a stable mind, and keep, she sees the good in me and kept the good in me. And I owe it all to this lady right here.
Thank you. I just want to say I really love this group. Okay, I do want to do a time check really quickly. So how many minutes I have? None? 10 minutes, okay. Oh, only 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna skip this because we talked about a lot of negative things in self-care. Because I definitely want to make sure we do giveaways. Do you need a break? Okay. Yes.
Empezar a apoyarse uno mismo, sobre todo cuando uno no tiene el apoyo en su misma comunidad. Yo fui chantajeada por una roommate mía que me estaba obligando a hacerme la prueba del VIH. Yo antes tenía tanto pánico de decir que soy VIH positiva, ahora no me importa. Por el contrario, no me importa, por el contrario me da orgullo porque tengo 30 años con VIH y estoy aquí todavía. Amén. Esa ex amiga supuestamente, cuando nos prostituíamos en el downtown, ahí en Skid Row, andaba enseñando mis frascos de medicina diciendo que yo estaba infectada de SIDA. Me golpeaba, me estafaba dinero. Esa persona me trató de hacer lo peor, me decía que yo era una basura, que era una mierda, que nunca me iba a superar. Y a los 2 años yo estaba trabajando en Uber y llevaba a mis clientes en mi carro del año. Y la cuina estaba parada en la esquina prostituyéndose todavía. Es duro salir adelante y uno lo tiene que hacer. Por ejemplo, ahora sí se vienen los grupos. Yo no quería en los grupos porque los jotos solo iban a posar carteras. Que mire que eso, que a mí se las chichis, que a mí... Y crítica. Pero yo veo que aquí hay mucha educación, como decía, hay mucho apoyo. Y como dice, cada quien habla de cómo le fue en el baile. Por ejemplo, para mí, mi pilar fue Dios.
Amén.
Yo salí de 25 años de cocaína y el cristal, de la prostitución, y pues ya aquí estoy, ya con mis 52 años encima, pero digo, es difícil cuando una persona de tu propia comunidad es la que te pone la pata encima.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love, I have to move us forward. I'm sorry, because I want to do the giveaways and respect the time, and I want to close out the workshop. I'm not good at time, y'all. I told you I grew up in church. But I will stay around afterwards for folks who want to have some conversations. So this slide I was going to take some time for us to talk about mirror work. Oftentimes when we don't have a care ethic for ourselves, we develop an inner critic. And everyone kind of has one, but when we don't take care of ourselves, our inner critic gets so loud. You're worthless. Nobody wants you. No one loves you. You're ugly. You're not perfect. You're not normal. All of those things it gets very loud in our minds. Can some people relate to that, having an inner critic? Okay, it was just two of us. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, we had a conversation. Yes, we did have a conversation. I love that. Thank you. And so I wanted to teach mirror work, but I did a terrible time with time. But some of the ways to minimize the inner critic is an activity I like to do with some of my clients. It has been helping folks. Is to look in the mirror and say the things that you want to believe about yourself, even if you don't believe them yet. You don't have to believe them. You could start off with 3 things, just 3 things, and get up in the morning, every morning, and say those things. It could be, I'm intelligent. I deserve to be here. I am a great leader. I'm powerful. I can do the things that I dream of. I like my nose. I like my knees. I like my eyes. Even if you don't like them yet, just start somewhere with some type of practice of giving yourself fuel that you need to feel good about yourself. I was going to give some self-care tips. This is me eating food that just really doesn't have good seasoning. It's vegan bacon. But I'm on this journey of teaching myself how to cook. Don't shame me. But here's some self-care tips. Take a nap. Read a book. Put your phone on silent. Also, not just put your phone on silent. We're addicted to scrolling. All of us are going to have that text neck because we're always in the phone. Take a moment to shut down the apps. Get off Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even WhatsApp. Shut it down and give yourself some moments of silence. Even when I'm working in the middle of the day, I have no shame to tell y'all that for 15 minutes, I'm like, hey, no one can call me, talk to me, anything. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to stand in the grass. I'm going to walk around the office. I do take silent moments for myself. Call someone in your support system. It seems like folks here have community, and they already, Ms. Loretta talked about already having people to lean on in this community. Call the TLC staff. Call someone that is in your support system. Watch TV. Watch TV. I wish How to Get Away with Murder was still on. That was one of my favorite shows. I just keep rewatching Annalise all over again. But watching TV, and I'd say set boundaries with children and spouse, but set boundaries with your family, friends, everybody. Just set boundaries with the people who are in your home with you. And then the last thing is about the mirror work, to speak life into you. Not all the time are you going to have people to speak life into you when you need it in that moment, in those dark moments, or in those private moments where you're not visible and people don't see you, and not just you and your being, but they don't see your needs. You speak life into you, and if you can't speak it yet, you write it. If you start writing the things that you need to believe by yourself to create a self-care practice. That is the end of our presentation here, guys. And before we leave, there is 7 giveaways. And I definitely want to give away, the TLC has gift cards, Subway gift cards. I love Subway. My favorite is the tuna sandwich. And then I also brought some of my journals, and I'll just explain this in 30 seconds. I created journals of people that I never see in the store, people who help teach me about care and love. and I want to give these journals away. Here, these journals are valued at, now I don't even know how much they are. I think they're $20 a journal, but they're free for the room. And so the way that we're going to, for the first couple giveaways, if people could give a brief, just a brief, not too long. If you want to give, if you raise your hand and say something that you learned today, very briefly, not too long.
I learned over there. Like she, distant. I don't dis. Oh, I don't. One person, because I believe in conquering. I believe, conquering, because I made myself to be a conqueror, not somebody to take my place from other people. Because when you let people take you away from them, and then you're bitter, they'll make you bitter, just like the one that made you they did that to you. Bitter, and I'm not gonna spread. I'll make them bitter before they make me bitter.
Okay, somebody.
Okay.
Here you go. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Anybody else learn something today?
Yes.
All right, let's get another journal. Let's just carry them all. And please be brief, meaning like 10 seconds brief. I'll give you one next.
Sí, yo lo que me gustó del grupo escuchar a cada una de mis compañeras y compañeros cómo se sienten, lo que compartieron es algo muy personal. Por ejemplo, la chica, ella, dale las gracias porque está diciendo que es VIH positiva. Eso es algo que no puede compartir cada persona y hay que tener mucho valor. Entonces, la seguridad que tú nos estás dando a nosotras es autoalimentarnos en nuestro mismo cuerpo y nuestra misma mente. Yo me llevo eso de que tú nos estás dando, que nos reautoalimentenos de cosas positivas, de lo que tú nos estás ofreciendo es como un buffet para que nosotras nos sientamos felices y seguras. Y te agradezco a nombre de todas mis compañeras y yo. Me encantó todo lo que nos trajiste, de verdad.
Thank you. That was sweet. You want me to sign it? Okay, I'll sign it as soon as I give out the giveaway. Yes, go ahead.
Mi nombre es Altagracia y bueno, me siento...
Wait, sorry. I promise we're almost done, everybody.
Ya mero terminamos, pero por favor,
no hablen. Okay, sorry.
Me siento muy alegre al estar aquí en los grupos porque me encantan los grupos. Y vine ya tarde, pero siempre me gustó mucho lo que compartió la amiga, que dijo que hay que olvidarse de todo lo pasado y obtener lo presente. Y eso algo presente. También del espejo, de levantarlos y verlos y tocarlos y eso también.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We have one more journal. Anybody else want to share? Yes.
Pues aprendí con lo del vaso de agua. Yo antes era una persona que daba mucho, no sé puedo decir que me quitaba el bocado de la boca, pero con tantas cosas que me han pasado, yo me he vuelto muy egoísta. Y a veces creo que egoísmo, o creo que empecé a pensar en mí misma, en cuidarme yo misma, antes que.
Thank you. I love that for you. Now we have 3 gift cards to give away to Subway. Oh, sorry, I had a hand back here. Do you want to say something?
No, it's okay. Thank you.
You sure?
Yes, thank you
okay.
so much.
Solamente pues darle la gracias por el taller que no me esperaba, ¿verdad?
Thank you.
Pero se aprende, como dicen que día a día uno aprende, aunque sea algo mínimo, siempre aprende uno siempre día a día, ¿verdad? Y la enseñanza que me ha dejado pues es ser siempre solidario, es compartir la solidaridad con las personas, compartir la información, no quedarme con esa información como a veces uno como somos bien egoístas, a veces no compartimos la información.
Vamos a colaborar.
¿Verdad? Eso, ahora he aprendido mucho acerca de eso, sobre la solidaridad, compartir la información con los demás.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's how we keep our community healthy. Thank you. For me, we have 2 left.
2 more.
2 more. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Hi. 2 right here. Okay.
Yo lo que aprendí es de seguir apoyándonos dentro de la comunidad. Seguir adelante, dándonos la mano. Y de lo que yo aprendí, ayudarle a los demás. Y aprender a perdonar todo lo que nos ha pasado y perdonarnos uno mismo. Para lograr compartir todo.
Thank you so much. You'll get a gift card, and our last winner.
Gina.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Lo voy a decir en español. Todo el mundo está dando sus opiniones de bondad y de lo que harían, y el juego que tú hiciste estuvo fantástico. Pero la realidad es que hay que esperar el momento en que tú estés en la situación a ver cómo vas a reaccionar. No es lo mismo estar sentado aquí y pensar qué bonito lo que voy a hacer, sino es estar en el momento y ver qué es lo que haces.
Yeah, thank you. That is very real.
Very real.
And that is a part of the process.
Yes.
But what I will say is sometimes you will get it right and sometimes you will get it wrong. I like to tell people, I know I'm not supposed to be talking anymore, but sometimes we will be harmed and sometimes we will harm. But hopefully we can get another chance to practice and unlearn. Thank you all for allowing me to be here today. If you would like, I would love to take a photo in front of the sign before leaving. I want to show my Florida family all about TLC and the amazing work that y'all do here. So if you want to take a photo with me, please come up here before we leave. Thank you.
Y las que no quieran fotos, no, las que no quieran fotos, procuro que tengan las hojas
Oh, I don't have Snapchat. That's so cute. Oh, can you send me that?
Yes.
So cute. Yeah.
I'm ready for my club sock.
Okay. Yes, I just don't have, I don't know who's going to take it. Oh, that's fancy. Okay.
Ven, guapa, vente por acá.
I feel like I have family now.
Acá con una linda.
Pon el filtro full.
More in the mirror, we want her more in the center. Scoot over with her.
Okay. This way?
Hace un grupo por
Ahí yo
acá.
me pongo acá. Siéntate acá en la silla. Arre, macho.
Dale por acá. Bájate un poco, bájate un poco.
Can see?
Yes,
Thank you for being here. This group was awesome. Thank you.
Otra silla por acá.
Yo sé, arre macho. Yo sé, la banda macho. The regional Mexican music.
Oh, yeah. I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago in Tulum.
Oh, yeah? Me in 2 months.
Oh, in Tulum?
Yeah.
Oh,
2 months
awesome.
I go to Mexico.
Ooh, which part?
Sinaloa.
Oh, is that near Mexico City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dale.
Oh, sorry.
No te vas a meter, corre, corre, corre. Siéntate aquí. ¿Quién más quiere?
Hi.
Que te queremos.
That filter is cute.
Ya, vamos. A la una.
Whisky.
A ver. ¿Ven todas?
Yes.
Qué guapo está.
Enseña el pajarito. Queremos ver el pajarito.
Es el
¿Qué es él?
Tú.
Charlie, baby, Charlie. Cheese. I love it, baby. I'm here. I'm waiting for you.
Show me the video. Oh, no, tú nos tienes muy en tu miras aquí.
A ver celular.
Y no es la de la foto.
Oh, no.
Ay.
Para el Facebook.
Por eso nos enamoramos de ti.
Que recuerdo
Say
de la banda más.
TLC.
Todos haciendo mímicas.
Yay! Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ah! You okay? I'm so sorry.
Mami.
Oh,
Nice meeting
thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, yes.
That's my sister.
Okay. Thank you for everything.
We met in Miami years ago.
In Miami?
Miami.
And y'all came here together? Wow.
I came here in
1968?
and I go see my family in Miami.
Wow.
And I go to Orlando. I know
Yeah. Yeah.
Hail Mary Boulevard, Orange Plaza.
Oh, you know about everything.
That's the business spot.
Yes, it is. Espanol? Oh, you want me to? Oh, see. Yes. I only know 2 words, which is like un momento. That I know that. Okay. Yeah. What does that mean?
Lapicero.
Lapicero.